It's currently 9:15 p.m. These two ovals are the only new ones I did today for the oval ball polystyrene drawing project. I didn't have much time to work on it, as I had a shift at Wegmans today that was from 8 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. And after my mom picked me up from the Wegmans I work at, we stopped by my dad's place briefly so that I could get my laptop case after packing it with my current primary laptop, the charger for that laptop, my current pair of wired headphones, and my computer mouse, along with the notebook and blue ink pen I had brought over from my mom's place to my dad's place the other day. And lastly, from my dad's place, I got some extra clothes. Here's where I am currently in terms of organizing my marker satchel at my mom's place. Today's brief work on the oval ball polystyrene drawing project was meant to ultimately prove to myself that these two Sharpie markers, the darkest hue of teal, are redundant, as in, even though they have different color caps, they mark exactly the same as these. And initially, that seemed to be the case based off appearances, but when I looked at the two new ovals I did for the oval ball polystyrene drawing project today, after I had brought down that project for this video, I noticed that the two new ovals actually appeared to be different from each other. I had used these Sharpie markers for the first new oval and these for the second, and thus it seems that these Sharpie markers may not be redundant after all. I most recently did a 30-minute HIIT workout from roughly 8 p.m. to roughly 8:30 p.m. I did what I always do whenever I do a 30-minute HIIT workout. I followed along to the same YouTube video. I got myself a glass of tap water. I'm currently using the same glass I used to have a glass of low sodium V8 branded vegetable juice. I didn't have any of the glass of tap water during the first set, as that's basically warm up. Then I had at least a tiny sip during both 60-second breaks between sets, and during most of the 30-second breaks. Between exercises. During the second and third sets. My dad drove me to the Wegmans I work at today. And I got there about 45 minutes before the start of my shift. During the time I was waiting for the start of my shift, I reviewed the September 5, my dinner video on my YouTube channel. To make sure everything was alright with its video and audio. Before deleting that converted 1080p quality U-Cut video editor file, along with the raw video clips I used to create it. As of 9:44 p.m., that video finished uploading to my YouTube channel around 14 hours and 45 minutes ago. I started converting that video project and then uploading that converted file to my YouTube channel. After I had woken up naturally for the last time today. Around 4:45 in the morning. After first naturally waking up around 3:45 in the morning. And then falling back asleep within a few minutes. I got roughly 5 hours of sleep last night. despite that, I feel fine currently. I don't feel tired at all. And throughout today, at worst, I only felt a tiny bit sluggish at times. Yesterday's my dinner video project finished uploading to my YouTube channel around an hour and 45 minutes ago. I worked on editing that video project while waiting for my shift to start. During my 30-minute lunch, during which I just had some cool cooler water in a 20-ounce paper cup, both from the break room. I recall I was on my second helping of cool cooler water at the time. And at that time, somewhere between a third and a quarter of that water was left. I also worked on editing yesterday's my dinner video project during my 2 15-minute breaks. And I finished editing that video project. Primarily during the mid-evening hours. I took my first 15-minute break around noon. My 30-minute lunch around 2:30 p.m. And my second and last 15-minute break around 4 p.m. I had my first helping of cool cooler water from roughly the first 2 hours of my shift today. And for my shift today, I primarily restocked the banana section at the back of the produce department and the hard items section right in front of the banana section. And which predominantly consists of varieties of onions and potatoes. The banana section is like this, and the hard item section is like this. Though towards the very start of my shift, I spent about 15 or so minutes partially restocking the carrots and celery section, more towards the middle of the produce department, but still kind of at the back and on the right side of the produce department. Which is the same side as where the bulk wall is. For which there were a few brief periods throughout my shift in which I restocked products such as bunches of celery, which I all banded with a single default blue rubber band with ink marking that says celery on it, as well as stating the PLU code for celery. At the time I restocked the carrots and celery section, I restocked what I could from what there was on the carrot runner from the cooler area of the section of the employees only warehouse. For those who work in the produce department. That runner at the time had just 5 rectangular collapsible black plastic boxes of various bagged carrot products at the time. And I was able to restock everything from that runner. I don't recall having to do much rotating, which is when I put product with an earlier sell-by date ahead of product with a later sell-by date. As part of Wegmans' strategy to minimize shrinkage. Within the supermarket. Lastly, there was a brief point about halfway into my shift or so in which I restocked some open plastic bags of seedless grapes for one of the front sections of the produce department. I got up for today about 15 minutes after I woke up naturally for the last time today. I got an aluminum can orange flavored Celsius energy drink. From the refrigerator downstairs at my dad's place. Around 6:15 in the morning, I had with a Premier Protein branded vanilla protein shake and some unsalted roasted whole cashews. From a family size plastic jar my dad got from Wegmans. Some leftover scrambled eggs with diced onions and peppers inside, as well as 2 links of Italian sausage, left over from yesterday's dinner. During the time between me getting up for today and having breakfast at my dad's place, In my room upstairs, I worked a bit on the Moogle polystyrene drawing project. And also a bit on the 99th Dan Hamming episode. For the first time in over a year, for some reason, after I got up for today, I just got a thought that I should do that today. And after some time, I decided to follow that thought. Today has generally been a cool and partially cloudy day. It was raining lightly when me and my dad left his place so that I could be driven to the Wegmans I work at. Though that's the only time I noticed it raining today. Here's where I am currently in terms of clearing out the ancient city on Oceania.